Oh, we're live. Hello, everyone. That was quick. Okay, well, welcome, everyone. My name is Donna Craddock, and I am co-owner of the Doc Bookshop, and I am in the wonderful presence of Mr.
So,
Afonso Scott. And he wrote this wonderful book. We got something to talk about. So gather in, and as you gather in, I'm going to make sure we're working on all of our channels. I take time to do that now because
sure.
I've done a whole live and
Okay.
no sound. So, and while I'm doing that, please share. Please tag someone. We want as many people to hear this conversation because this is State Fair Classic Weekend. They're celebrating their 100th anniversary, and we're discussing. I'm so excited about this because we're going to be talking about HBCUs. Okay, so definitely gather in and tag and share. And I just want to make sure our channels are working. And while I'm doing that, please share on your channels. And let's see here. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Okay, we are wonderful. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for being here.
Glad to be here. Thanks for
So I want to give a shout out to our in studio audience.
All right. There we go.
Thank you, in studio audience.
Thank
I
you.
want to give a shout out to, of course, our virtual, our Facebook, and of course, this will be shared on our Instagram and our YouTube channels. So thank you all. So let's just get right into it.
All right.
Okay, so kind of relax, relax.
Okay.
Alfonso, I want you to tell us about yourself.
All
You
right.
know?
Well, I am initially from Dayton, Ohio, born and raised,
Okay.
and I thank God for my upbringing. Got two sisters that are still there, and after finishing high school, I got an opportunity to go to college. I went to Miles College in Birmingham, Alabama, which is a historically black college and university.
Okay, I was wondering where that was coming from Ohio.
Yes.
Because I know we don't have any HBCUs.
Well, we got two.
In Ohio?
We got Wilberforce University, and we got Central State
Okay.
University. Yes.
Okay, that's good to know.
And both of those schools are doing well.
Okay. But you decided to go south.
I did.
Okay.
I did. Didn't look like I were even going to get a chance to go to college early on. I came from very humble beginnings, and I had some leg injuries. I was a pretty good athlete growing up, so I had scholarship aspirations. But with my leg problems, I wasn't able to go. Decided to go to the military, and those same leg flare-ups came back, and I had to get an honorable discharge. So when I came back home, I didn't know what I was going to do. Wanted to go to college, went to the military, and didn't work out. And I had always had a dream of going off to school, and I know that my mom didn't have much money. So what I did, I started writing schools all over the country, asking them for an opportunity to come. I must have written 50 letters and sent them out.
Oh, well, that's
And
information.
never received a single response, Donna. It was disappointing. So I picked up a job at a temporary service, start working. And I'll never forget, I came home one evening and my mother told me that you have a piece of mail on the kitchen table. I go and lo and behold, it's a big yellow manila envelope. And it was from one of the schools that I had written that had responded. And it was ultimately the school that I went to and the school that I graduated from. And I tell you what, I hit the ground running and with excitement, and was blessed for a lifetime. Met some amazing people, amazing professors, friends for life, and just really enjoyed the entire experience.
Okay. And it was Miles College?
Miles College in the city of Birmingham, yes.
Okay.
A liberal arts school, great school. And the same way with a lot of
Is it
HBCUs.
near? You say Alabama, of course Tuskegee comes to mind for everybody.
Sister school, great school.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're a little northwest up Tuskegee,
Okay.
and but we gel with individuals all over. I mean, that's that kind of brotherhood and that sisterhood that we have, and that's one of the things that make our school so special.
Oh, good. I'm glad he responded.
Yes, so am I.
Okay, and so now the inspiration from this book, what made you decide to say, I'm going to write a book about HBCUs? Like what inspired you to write this book?
And I really did.
Because you have responses from how many people responded?
I've got hundreds and hundreds of responses. And if I were to really record all the responses that I have, I'd probably have 4 or 5 books.
Okay, so you're gonna do? Do you plan to do different volumes?
Well, I'm having a good time really just getting out and doing what we're doing today, just sharing, talking about the book, making it available, and just sharing the experiences that I and others
So
have,
so
have enjoyed.
so share with us your process. If you got all these responses, how did you narrow down to these responses that's in this book?
It was a great deal of prayer. It reminds me, and some of the preachers can identify with this, the canonization was the same thing with the Bible. There was a lot of, and you'll hear some of the theologians, they'll tell you that there was more than what's in the Bible, but it was a process obviously guided by God, and same thing with this. There was a process, so God kind of put in my spirit what to accept and then what I couldn't use at this time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So thoroughly enjoyed that. But I got a chance to speak to hundreds and hundreds from all over the country, from different walks of life, from different professions, individuals that went to school in the South, the Midwest, the North, Southwest, you name it. And I got a chance to infiltrate some of their living rooms and to be able to share some of the intimate details that they were able to share with me. And that's how the book kind of came full circle.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Do you kind of delve into the history of HBCUs in the book at all?
And I'm glad you asked that because I don't. There have been enough books written on the history and then even really following historians, some of the historians that went to HBCUs. I deal with the experiences. I
Okay.
deal in strictly the experiences. So when I talk to people in the comfort of their living room or over the phone, I wanted to delve into their experience, what you experienced when you went to school and when you were on campus. And I tell you, I enjoyed it, blessed for a lifetime. I've got testimonials and stories all the way back from the 1940s, 50s, 60s, all the way up to present day. And just being able to talk to the people. Sometimes we had to pause. We had to put the camera on pause because individuals had to gather themselves. Not me, of course. Sometimes my allergies.
They got really emotional, huh?
That's right. And it was tough because when you think about going to HBCU schools in the 1940s and 50s, it was dangerous. It could cost you your freedom. It could cost you your safety, and in some instances, it could even cost you your life.
Well, we don't even think about that.
Yes, absolutely.
We take so much for granted.
And that's what made it so special because there's a variety of stories and excerpts. And there were things that I used. Somebody might have written an entire paragraph, but I might have just used a sentence or two.
Okay, I still want to figure out how did this concept come about? Did you and your wife, did y'all have a conversation? So, you know what? I love my HBCU experience so much. I'm going to write about it. Or did you just have this love for HBCUs? Like what is it that made you say, I want to write a book and I want to collect people ideas about the HBCU experience? Like what how did that come about?
Here's how it came full circle. One day I was here in Dallas and I was working at IBM. And I'll never forget because one afternoon I just reared back in my chair looking out the window and I said, little old me, from humble beginnings, and now I'm working at one of the biggest and most successful companies in the world.
Yeah.
And then a feeling of gratefulness came over me. And immediately, what I did, I started penning a letter back to my school that I went to, but I wrote it anonymously. And I hope I'm not giving my age away, but at that time, you had to actually write. There weren't the emails and all that kind of stuff. So I wrote a letter and I sent it back to the school thanking the professionals and those administrators and those officers for allowing, someone like me and others like me
You
to
did
come.
anonymous? You didn't just let them know who you were?
No, because I didn't want it to be about me. I wanted it to be about them. And
That's
just,
good.
and I was
That's
just
special.
speaking almost from, all the students that had come through our schools, just thanking them, for seeing us when others in the world didn't.
Mm.
And
I bet they framed that letter.
I don't know if they, I never got it up because it was anonymous. I didn't leave a forwarding address. So
Right.
I don't know. But it was really
That's
near
nice.
and dear to me because they gave me an opportunity. And when those professors, they didn't make any differences because I didn't have two nickels to rub together. They showered me and blanketed me with the support and the love
Mm-hmm.
as they do with all of us that come through our schools.
Mm.
Mhm.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
And then from there, you say, you know what? I'm sure other people have this experience.
I didn't start writing the book immediately. It was a little while later. I was in a restaurant and I was by myself and I overheard a conversation between a young lady and her mother. The young lady were talking about college. She was college ready and at that point in her life. And the young girl, she started talking about all the negative things that she heard about historically Black colleges and universities, all the rumors that were circulating then. And because of that, she decided that she didn't want to even
Oh,
further the conversation and she didn't want to look at HBCUs. Well, I was in the next booth
that's
and,
awful.
and I wanted to intervene so bad that it hurt. I didn't.
You didn't?
I
I
didn't.
thought you were going to just excuse me for it.
I, I wanted to. I didn't, but that's when the book started. So at that point, I knew that the real story needed to be told and shared. And I felt who better to tell the story than those of us that actually lived the story. And that's when We've Got Something to Talk About was initially birthed.
Yeah. And that was, I always want to go to the HBCU. And, I was inspired. Of course, I'm a 90s, well, born in 70, but,
Okay.
90s shows. So, different world. That inspired everybody. Everybody was
Yes.
trying to get to HBCU with different world.
Yes.
So, they really need to bring that back or something similar to that. But that was a great show.
Yeah,
It
I
really
agree.
was.
I grew up with it also.
Yeah. So anyway, so I really wanted to go, but I didn't get the opportunity. But I really made sure though that I don't have children, but my nieces and nephews
Hmm.
go. And so yeah.
Did some of them get a chance?
Yeah. My nephew, he went to TSU. He didn't COVID hit.
Okay.
And so that kind of messed up his journey.
Mhm.
My other nephew went to Prairie View.
Nice.
He
Great school.
so
Okay.
so yeah, I really try to push them. I ended up at what you call it, PWI.
I don't refer them to it.
PWI.
I don't say it,
But yeah, I ended up in Iowa. I'm from Omaha, so I ended up in Iowa. But that was my goal because there's so much richness, and just we used to do college tours,
Okay.
So so we had a chance to visit Southern Grambling and Atlanta and all the different schools,
Yes.
different states. So just to see the richness of it and just the culture and the people and the
Amen.
it was beautiful. So I always wanted to go.
Yeah, and it was special times. I mean, the things that we experienced as we lived and as we matured and grew. I mean, we're just
So during
very
your time
flexible.
at HBCU, what stood out to you the most?
Just the kind of raised by the village mentality, and I think that's what drew a lot of us. And when I say that, meaning that even though we were away from home, and many of us hundreds and hundreds of miles from home, we still felt like we were at home because some of those administrators and some of those professors, they took us under their wing and they treated us as they should have, like we were theirs.
Hmm.
So I when I've missed a couple class, hey, Mr. Scott, I noticed that you missed a couple of my sessions. Is everything okay? And I take a step or two and I said, well, I say to myself, man, thank you. Thank you for noticing, but more important, thank you for caring.
Mm.
And we had that every step of the way. And we probably won't admit it, but a lot of us needed that. We've always heard that when you go off to school, you're by yourself. You don't have to worry about a mother or father looking over your shoulder, reminding you to do this and do that. But we still needed those semi-controlled environments.
Mm-hmm.
We still needed someone to get after us when we know that we were going left. And it helped us to stay the course. And really, it encouraged and helped many of us to finish our courses.
Okay.
There were many times that not just me, but as you read the book, there were several individuals that thought about quitting, that thought about giving up, taking the next bus or the next train home.
Mm-hmm.
But because you had those mothers and fathers that were there with you, they wouldn't let you. And later on in life, you thank God for that. And when you're sitting in IBM years later and you start reflecting, those are the individuals that come to mind. And you appreciate them so much that they didn't let me quit. They didn't let me stop, even when I wanted to.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Now, is that how you met your lovely wife?
I met my wife out here.
Oh,
We've
okay.
been married now 31 years, and to our wed, we've got two wonderful girls that we, recent college grads. So,
Okay.
God is good. So
Okay.
I thank God, and they've always been my biggest supporters. I never had to wonder where that support was going to come from because I worked on this book and I researched it over a decade.
Oh, it took how long to write this book?
Over a decade.
Oh, wow.
Didn't take me that long to write it,
The
but
research and
the
just
research,
and
the
just
talking to people, and when you read the book, you'll see why. And I've had many people to come up to me and say, "I see why it took you a decade because there's just so much content in there, and there's just so much information." And to me, the thing that makes the book special and it separates it from other books, it's not that I'm some brilliant author, but I really believe it's the responses from the people, from those that I can just open up a here. Here it says, I am so grateful my school looked past my situations. They obviously read my story and allowed me to come. I did work hard, graduating in 4 years without ever getting a grade lower than a C. I thank God every day for Black colleges everywhere.
that's awesome.
Hint, class of 1989. And it just goes on and on. And the book follows the story of the protagonist. And to the reader, you don't know if it's a male, female, young, old, what part of the country they came from, what
And
part
does
of
it
the
mention the
country.
school?
No.
Okay.
And I did that to imply that it could be anyone,
Right. You didn't
anywhere.
want to, yeah.
And
That's a good idea because you don't want too many schools getting
yes,
all the shout out.
yeah,
Okay.
and that it could be anyone, anywhere. And it was all about the experience, what we experienced and what we lived through. And there's some stories, again, that'll make you laugh out loud, but then there are many stories that'll make you, quietly, tear up.
Reflect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's all us and it's all ours. And given the climate that we're living in now,
Right. That's we need to delve into
yeah,
that.
I
Yeah.
think the spotlight are back on our schools. From via my research, I understand that enrollment is up almost at every HBCU around the country, and we've got
That's
107
good.
historically Black colleges now. And I tip my hat to them all because many of them were founded in the 1800s, and they're still standing and still educating our young people. So I thank God for it. I'm not ashamed to admit, had it not been for HBCUs, many of us, would not have gotten a chance to go to college, stay in college, or graduate from college. But because of our schools and because of those visionaries being brave and courageous to plant schools in places, and at times when it wasn't easy, people like me and others got a chance to matriculate. And because of that, we thank God. We thank God.
That's beautiful. Beautiful ode to HBCUs. I like
Yes.
that. So let's talk about your book. Let's try to
Okay.
let's delve into it. So how do you have this book structured? And I notice you have several chapters here.
I've got 12 chapters.
Okay.
And
And let's just kind of talk through these.
okay.
Because I can understand the arrive part.
They arrived, okay.
And I can understand the in good hands part.
Nice.
The Muddy Diamonds.
Muddy Diamonds.
I don't understand that part.
Well, Muddy Diamonds, Muddy Diamonds, I'm actually going to read the first part of it. It says, in order to discover diamonds, one has to often sift through sludge or mud to find them.
Okay.
Hourglass, patience, and relentless persistence have to be the plan of action exercised because most diamonds are not often found atop surfaces. Digging, sifting, and purifying are usually requirements of the reclamation process. And the phrase diamond in the rough describes something or someone of potential value that lacks the refinement or polish. And it says finding value in unexpected places is especially gratifying when found within the halls of our beloved institutions. It's sometimes laughable when people appear surprised at the talent derived from our schools. But those of us who know the level of greatness within historically Black colleges, however, are not surprised at all because we are always some of the sharpest ready-made graduates to enter the workforce every year.
That's good.
So it's really, Muddy Diamonds is really talking about
The
how,
people.
yeah,
Okay.
that you may have something
A lot of
that
diamonds in the
might
rough.
be undefined, it might be a little rough, that might be a little be, under the surface, but with the right effort and with the right
Process. Mm-hmm. I get
with
it.
the process, it can shine bright, and many of us do.
Okay.
We've got some brilliant, minds that have matriculated through HBCUs all around the country, and I for one, thank God for them.
And I understand the homecoming,
Okay.
the inside excellence, and portraits in the hallway. I guess you've seen a lot of portraits in the.
Sometimes you can walk an HBCU campus and walk the hallways, and the pictures and portraits itself can almost tell the story. It's almost like they're coming alive, and you can just look in the eyes of the individual. You can just look at the time and the period, and your mind will go back and it'll start talking to you. So that's kind of what that's about. When a lot of
So did you experience that at your institution?
I did, and I experienced it at my institution and other HBCUs that I've gone to, and some of those stories jump off of those halls and jump into your heart, and you can certainly identify with it.
Okay. Iron sharpens iron. I get that one. Built like this.
Mm-hmm.
Worth it.
Worth it.
It's worth it.
It's a sacrifice.
Now, a bend in the road.
A bend in the road. And
Let's talk about that one.
if I could finish that, I would say a bend in the road is not the end of the road.
Okay.
And it comes with the sacrifice and the work ethic of our professors, where they teach us and they train us and they reiterate those very things that don't let something temporal get in the way of what you're doing long lasting. Keep on running, keep on serving, keep on operating on. Sometimes it doesn't look good, and it doesn't feel good to you. But if you put in the work, trust me, it'll be good for you.
That's good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, and brighter highways.
Brighter highways, that's the last chapter.
Okay.
And that's really talking about even though it's a challenge and things are tough and it's a struggle, but I'm happy to report things have never looked better, for us and for ours. And I just tip my hat to all of those institutions, to all of the institutional leaders, to all of the students that keep them erect for the next generation of young dreamers, that they'll have a chance to go to school, stay in school, graduate from school, and be able to go
build
out.
Those relationships.
Yes, and that's special also, because you meet people that have an impact on your life then, and you'll think about those. I've been to 2 other schools since then, and they've been after my experience at my HBCU. I can't tell you about a single experience. I really can't. I can't tell you about much interaction with professors, students, but I can remember everything from my HBCU as though it happened last week. Every conversation, every encounter.
Are you one of those who go back to the homecoming and?
I have not been back to my homecoming in years,
Oh, okay.
but it's something that I really want to do, and I'm really excited to get back. And Last time I was there wasn't a homecoming, but I got a chance to go by campus and just to see the modification and to see all the progress and to see how it's evolved over the years. It just blessed me. And I got a chance to walk the neighborhood and see some of those streets and some of those houses and those gardens and porches that when we used to walk to and from the mall, they would just wave at us every time we went
Ah,
by. And I don't remember many of their names, but I can see their images like they're right here. So yeah,
wow.
special.
And I guess I need a reset. For those who just now joining us or just chiming in, I just want to reset here. I'm in conversation with Mr. Alfonso Scott Jr. He is the author of We Got Something to Talk About, our HBCU stories shared by our past and present HBCU students. And this is a wonderful collection of experiences of those who attended HBCUs, and it's been a love project for you,
Yes.
a 10-year journey,
Yes.
actually. So, and it's a beautiful compilation. I am just excited about this book. I really want to delve into it and just kind of hear some of the reflections in this book. Is there anyone that any particular one stood out to you that you want to share
I'll
with
say
us?
all of them, Donna. They really all have a special place in my heart, um, because they're real and they were
Mm-hmm.
from the people. Now, obviously, the book has been edited, but what I would tell the editor is, please, whatever you do, don't touch the the testimonials and the stories from those others much,
Mm-hmm.
and because I want to be able to present them like I received them, and I can read. I still read the book. I wrote the book. But I still find myself reading it. I'll just crack it open and just start reading, and I'll start reading some of the stories. And I'll
Mm-hmm.
follow it like I hadn't read it before, and it'll still bring that much joy and excitement to my spirit just reading it again. So yeah, all of them
All
are
of it.
special.
Let's just pick. Okay, let's. One of our studio audience members pick a number from one to 160.
187.
187.
That's how many pages?
70? Oh, seven. Oh, okay.
Seven, number complete.
Seven. Okay, we're going to read one of these.
All right.
Okay.
I'll read silently with you as you read it.
Okay,
It's
let's
a
see.
group. This is a group project. You got
This
to
is,
read out loud.
this is from J,
Okay.
class of 1989. I actually graduated in 1989,
All
so
right.
this should be interesting.
Nice.
As I stated earlier, the opportunity of getting to know people from different places intrigued me and was one of the reasons I looked forward to going off to college in the first place. I had never been as excited about school, scratch that. I have never been excited about life as I was after arriving on campus of my beloved school. Because of my newfound excitement, I was able to adjust well, and it made a huge difference in my academic performance. Okay.
And that was from Jay.
And then you have more. Oh, I
Oh
see
yeah,
it's a
they
lot of.
just and when you see the italic wording and the light wording, those are from others. Those excerpts are from others, and they get a
Okay.
chance to share.
Okay. Well, he has a lot of testimonies in this book. It's a wonderful book. So if you get a chance, definitely stop by the Doc Bookshop. We are here in Fort Worth, on the east side of Fort Worth. So if you're in the DFW area, come by the Doc Bookshop, get this book, or you could get the book wherever books are sold. Jay is he's all over the place. So wherever books are sold, you can just give him your website.
Yeah, it's on. You can get the book on my private platform, and it's "We've Got Something to Talk About." The title of the book, all lowercase, no spaces. We've got something to talk about. You can go on there. It'll give you a brief synopsis of the book, how it came to be. And then if you're interested in order, you can place an order, and 3 or 4 days later, it'll show up on your doorstep.
Yes, and also you can get the book here at the Doc Bookshop. And Alfonso, he's going to be here. Alfonso, I keep saying Zo.
Oh, that's all right.
Is Alfonso. He's going to be here for about another hour or so. So if you're in the area, come by and get this book. We definitely want you to have this as part of your library. It's a beautiful tribute to HBCUs. Yes. I am just loving it. I can just tell. I mean, it's just the difference that HBCUs made in so many people's lives is just amazing. So
thank you. Now, Don, before we go, can I read something?
Sure.
Now, this is the letter that I penned years ago when I was in my office at work.
Is that the one you wrote to your school?
Yes, this is the letter that I wrote to my school. It says, "Dear Black Institution of Higher Learning, thank you for being the great educational giant you are. When I arrived here years ago with little to no idea of what I wanted to become, you took me under your wing while instilling in me the very things to become successful. You recognized something special in me when some, including me, couldn't see beyond mediocrity and weren't interested in looking too far beyond that. You, along with several dedicated professionals, would not let the lack of effort or resources become dream dimmers or prevent potential from being discovered. Thank you for seeing me. Even when noticing and pointing out my deficiencies, you didn't just dwell on them, but you complimented and encouraged my abilities. Your existence is so precious and important for people like me who need what you offer. You dampened my appetite, so I now realize if I can dream it, I can be it. Never had I witnessed or experienced such dedication, and although unfairly criticized and misrepresented at times, you have always been committed to the growth and success of every single student to enter and exit through your doors. As a proud graduate saturated with special memories and experiences, I depart with more than a degree. I now have the vision to see it while owning the skills and confidence to seize it. Thank you, Black colleges. Sincerely, all of us."
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Okay, well, any closing remarks you want to give as Ashley or Danya comes to turn the live off? I know one of them, hopefully, if not.
Yeah, just I just again, given the climate that we're living in, it is just an opportune time to really look at our schools. I think the spotlights are back on historically Black colleges and universities, and rightfully so. I think as other opportunities become minimal and are subtracted, it's just really good to know that we still have advocates and we still have institutions that are there for us. I like to say this, our schools were created with our minds in mind.
That's good. Okay, well, again, thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you.
And definitely add this book to your library. We got something to talk about, our HBU stories.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right.
Okay. Well, thank you. All right. You can always go through, yeah. Yeah, that's good. I can that.
Here, turn it off. Turn it off.
Can you get me this time?
Wait.
I am. I really am. Because, you got a
Wait.
feedback. Now, this is the same one, though, right?
What's that? No, these are. When you see the black writing, that's from the protagonist. When you see the highlighted italicized.
Ashley's not here, so I don't.
So that one's from Charlene, class of 1970.
Oh.
So when you see this one.
Oh, you want to end the live?
Mm-hmm.
Class B.
That's all you gotta do is press end.